All right. Michael Chaos here. The Arrow Podcast. You guys know what it is. Help me help you. Let's get into these Chiefs and Taylor Swift versus the Jets. Let's jump in.
Red and gold. Red and gold. Red and gold.
Right. Michael Chaos once again, the Arrow Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You guys know the spiel. Help me help you by now. Help that algorithm keep these flowing. That's right. Or you won't be knowing. That's right. So, anyways, let's jump right into this, man. This matchup. Dogfight. Once again. Jawan Taylor. Penalties. Okay, fellas, it's getting kind of annoying. That was the fourth game. We're going into our fifth game against the Vikings shortly, next Sunday, and the false starts, the holdings, they're still coming. All right, Trey Smith has been having a few struggles here and there. That's not too concerning, but fellas, we got to clean that up. Jawan Taylor, it's time for you to clean that up. All right? We got to get that cleaned up, period. Those of you that, continuously think that, the refs are helping the Chiefs, go look at how many penalties the Chiefs had, how many penalties the Jets had. I can assure you that if there's a missed call on our side, there's a missed call on their side. Always happens. People seem to overlook that. But anyways, moving on from the conspiracy theorists. They got a commercial, by the way, by Key and Peele for all you guys that are, the NFL's scripted, rigged, conspiracy theorist guys. That one play where they tried to, zoom in and kind of oust, was not holding. I believe it was Donovan Smith. It wasn't holding. Remember, guys, let's learn the rules, okay? If you grab inside the frame, that's not holding, okay? Outside of the frame is holding. Inside the frame is holding, okay? Just read the rules. Simple for all you conspiracy theorists. Anyways, moving on. So, that was a dogfight, fellas. I didn't see that coming. I knew we weren't going to run over the Jets, okay? I knew it wasn't going to be a blowout. We didn't score the points that I wanted to. Either no. I said 30 plus, which means 30 or plus, obviously 30 points or more. So, with that being said, I know it was 23-20, but it could have been 30-20 if Mahomes, wasn't smart. So, he decided to not, score a touchdown that he easily could have and run the clock out, which is smart because remember, fellas, we don't want another defensive drive, to where someone can get injured. So there's no point in doing that. Why not just end the game to end the game, right? So I'm cool with that. And in my eyes, they technically scored 30 points because they easily could have, literally. So, but the offense, it was ugly, fellas. It was ugly. We could have scored way more than that. Obviously, it was very ugly. I'm still seeing obviously the same issues. It is only 4 games. I did anticipate that being those same issues being cleaned up come week 8. Rashee Rice dropped another ball. It's becoming a very concerning issue. Okay, it was one. He caught one. Got some nice yak yards after carry, which he always does, which he's been doing. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he needs to be out there more, given the drive. It's a few here and there, but fellas, I need someone to help me because I see there's still a lot of people claiming Sky Moore. I need someone to help me with that because I am watching, the film. I am watching now. He had I believe last game against the Bears. He had a nice route where he ran, where he shook the guy, which I seen one time. Okay. Now, give or take, last year he did it to Derwin James. He actually had a really good game against the Chargers. But still, it's not a consistent basis, bro. In my eyes, I think Sky Moore needs to be taking off the field, and he needs to be used as like a McCole Hardman type of role, which I think McCole Hardman, before he got injured last year, was in a bigger role. I think he needs 2021, 2020 McCole Hardman role. That's what I think, personally. I think he needs to get off the field. MVS is not getting the ball. Not getting the ball. Okay? He's not getting the ball. Justin Watson is not getting the ball. There was one play where Sky Moore ran open across the field. Was it Sky Moore? Yeah, Sky Moore. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't Sky Moore. It was MVS. It was actually a few plays where Sky Moore was open, but it was a play where MVS had came open through the middle of the field. And Mahomes, I guess, was blind that game because he came open in the middle of the field, and Mahomes unnecessarily scrambled. So that wasn't the best game for Mahomes, guys. It happens every single year. If you pull up last year's games, we had like 5 to 6 games. Overtime with the Texans. Barely beat the Broncos twice. Beat the Raiders. The Raiders? We barely beat the Raiders by 1 point. So it happens, fellas. It happens. There was also a few years ago where Mahomes threw 4 interceptions in one game on the Dolphins. Even though we still won, he threw 4 interceptions. And was that the year we won the Super Bowl? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. I can't thoroughly remember. I'm not sure if that was the year we won the Super Bowl. Oh, you know what? I think that was the year we went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Buccaneers. Oh, no. No one wants to remember that. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, so, fellas, we got to get this offensive crap cleaned up. But, like I said, these games always happen. What the number one main thing that I seen that I loved was the adversity. Obviously, the Lions, even though every single last person dropped a ball, and Kadarius Toney dropped 4, 5 clutch. I mean, balls that would have won the game. Obviously, that was obviously a fluke as well. Whatever, but either way, we lost that game, and that was a dogfight. Turned into a dogfight. We won this dogfight, and remember, guys, this is kind of technically a new receiving core. Not necessarily new. Obviously, we have MVS, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, but you know, Justin Watson didn't score. He only had like 200 plus yards last year. Sky Moore obviously didn't play nearly as much as he's playing now. So this is fairly an experimental phase for the Chiefs right now. That's why we have 7 receivers. But we won a dogfight, which it's in them to do on both sides of the ball. Defense played well, given the 20 points against Zach Wilson. I mean, a few of those throws were throws that was just like, really? You know what I mean? I mean, what, 1 centimeter, and Brian Cook knocks that ball, that touchdown, knocks the ball out of his hands, and that's 4th down. They're kicking a field goal. So defense did a good job. I did see the lack of Nick Bolton. Drew Tranquil did okay. I did see the lack of Nick Bolton, which we are going to need, which I think he'll be back next game against the Vikings. Hopefully. It's a little concerning, though, because I don't know what's going on. So, yeah. Obviously, it's his ankle, but I don't know other than his ankle being sprained or whatever the case is. Now, when he came back in that game, he looked fine, but I don't know what's going on. So, but we need Nick Bolton. Besides, there was also a few times where people were good. George Karlaftis rushed the quarterback. Do not drop him back in coverage, please. Please don't stop doing that. And then there was another one where Leo Chanel was in coverage, like down the field coverage. I don't know what that was. So, yeah, give or take. That tends to happen. I mean, Steve Spagnuolo, it is what it is. I love him, so I'll give him a pass. But The offense. Yeah. Still needs some things seriously cleaned up, fellas. Of a lot of things. Okay. Donovan Smith played very well. Very well. That right side, Trey Smith and Juwan Taylor had a long game. Okay. I believe between both of them, they both gave up 4 pressures each. They had a long game. Yeah, you could see it. They're attacking that right side, fellas. They need to clean it up, okay? Juwan Taylor and Trey Smith together need to clean it up, okay? Big time. So, yeah. Other than that, Isaiah Pacheco. Fellas, I've been waiting to see a game like that from Isaiah Pacheco. Fellas, his vision has gotten way better than it was last year, which is something I didn't think was fixable. But clearly it is, because he's busting it to the outside like he didn't do. I think that had a lot to do with Airbnb. But his vision looks better. He looks better. He had the best game of his career. He had 148 yards, 43 yards, 43 reception yards, and 116. I don't think that's 158. He had over 100 yards from scrimmage, but he had 116 rushing yards and 43 reception yards. So that was beautiful to see. I believe it was 168, something like that, or 169, 167, something like that. So it was beautiful to see, fellas. I've been waiting a long time to see a breakaway, a nice 20, 30-yard touchdown, which we've seen that he was running for his life. Also, Mahomes. Every time I see Mahomes running like that, I think back to when he said that he runs scared. So you could tell he definitely looks like he's running from ghosts, So even though he didn't have a good game at all remotely, he still won the game for us at the end, okay? But, I'm not too happy with Sky Moore. Don't think I ever will be. To me, he's starting to become the Dan Sorensen of the offense. I don't care what anybody says, okay? And they keep putting him out there just like they kept putting Dan Sorensen out there. And those of you that know Chiefs Kingdom, and those of you that know the Chiefs, and those of you that, follow us, you guys know who Dan Sorensen is. Maybe it's not that bad. Yeah. That was bad. But it's getting there for me, okay? He dropped a ball that he could have easily caught, okay? On a third down. Seems to never convert third down plays. So stop going to Sky Moore on third down, period. The out routes that they're running with him are not working. Sky Moore is not getting separation. I don't care what anyone says, okay? When we need it consistently, he is not getting separation. Stop putting him in there, okay? Have Kadarius Toney run those routes. Have MVS. MVS on out routes is nasty. He's fast. He's very fast. MVS, the way we used him against the Bengals last year, that, by the way, fellas, we wouldn't have won that game without MVS, period. He put us on his back, on his shoulders, like Isaiah Pacheco just did against the Jets. But we wouldn't have won that game without MVS. We need to start using him morely like that, because why not switch it up? But I truly feel, and it's irritating me, that we are not using MVS, bro. I don't understand why. I don't understand what's going on. But, I'm seeing, like, I don't think it was this game. It was last game. But, like, I'm still seeing overthrown balls. Sorry, excuse me. Something's going on. I'm still seeing overthrown balls. Balls that just aren't getting to him, bro. So I don't understand what the dealio is with that, man. And obviously Justin Watson, who has most of our yards, obviously outside of Travis Kelce, which I think he just caught up to. Outside of Travis Kelce, Justin Watson has the most yards out of all our receivers. I think he had 1 target. Guys, what's going on? Okay? This is... I kind of know what's going on. They're experimenting right now. But the problem is, you're going to end up losing a game, bro. You're going to end up losing the game because you got to get the chemistry with the guys that are working, not the guys that aren't working. Don't force the guys that aren't working out. Okay? So, yeah, we need to get that fixed, fellas. ASAP. The Vikings defense, think that's where we fix it at. But I don't want to see that against them. I want to see it against the Jets. I want to see us rolling, you know? So, but, win's a win. Like I said, we struggled in numerous games and won the Super Bowl in a very gorgeous fashion. That was just lovely to watch. Unless you're flying, Eagles fly, 'cause we're about to cry right now. Unless you're an Eagles fan. So, yeah, you guys know what it is, okay? But that's pretty much it. That summons up. I guess this was morely a rant than anything. But once again, I'm not too concerned. Technically put up 30 points, which I wanted to see. The defense played well. I think Nick Bolton's there, it's a slightly different. George Karlaftis is up there in pressures. He needs to finish, and he looked gassed in the fourth quarter. So, yeah. But guess what, fellas? Guess what? Charles Omenihu's coming back soon. After this Sunday, we got one more Sunday without Charles Omenihu. And I think that's going to boost and bolster our defensive line. Guys, we don't have our best defensive end out there. Charles Omenihu, by far, well, I would say by far, but he is our best defensive end, period. He's coming back soon, fellas. Look out. So, that's all I pretty much got, fellas, for this video. Look out for another one before the Vikings game, going over that. So, which should be fun. I'm sorry, guys. I just have to say it. It should be another free win. But, yeah, that's about it, fellas. This is the Arrow Podcast. I am Michael Chaos. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Help me help you. I'm outros.
We're running out of time. Won't fly, catch me in the end.